contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you're not to possess any weapons since you do have the prior felonies. You are a prohibited possessor at this time. If you do postpone and are released from custody, you're also still on supervised probation, so you do need to contact probation within 72 hours. So your next two cases here are those probation cases. They're both here for Term 1 violation. So it's the new offense is what's triggered this. So at this time, you have a revocation arraignment hearing, March 31 at 8:30. The bond in each of those is a $500 secured appearance bond. So I believe that gives you $6,000 total for all three matters. Do you have any questions regarding any of these cases that I've gone over?
May I please just say something? I know. I finished some programs and done and graduated and all that. I'm not sure if courts even have received those things from probation.
I think I actually did see that you finished. You haven't been checking in with probation. I think you were actually about to get in probation anyway. They were staffing it due to a failure to check in. But I think I did see that you finished something back in December.
And I just finished a Valley Hospital and some other stuff that I was doing in some meetings. I'm caught between a situation where being with the disabled because of the accident, some of the accidents I've been in back to back, and the trauma from it, I've been having a real hard time getting acclimated between terrorists and all this other stuff, and then being homeless. And I don't even like staying homeless, but it's just been rough. And
at this time, your primary hold here is going to be that new felony charge, and I'm concerned about the nature of the offense that you're here for, which did involve the apparent criminal damage involving some random people. So as a result of that, you're not going to be released here today. You do have a bond.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. Yes.
All right, so we have Nelson Moreno and then Charles Toner up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Nelson Marino, February 1st, 1995.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a bench warrant that was issued. That's for a failure to appear in CR 2023-007639. So in that matter, you now have a status conference set on April 3rd at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix, so same place you had it before. And in this matter, the bond in your warrant's been affirmed. That's a $1,500 secured appearance bond. Other than that, your release conditions do remain the same with respect to no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. Do you have any questions regarding it? All right, sir, if you want to go and step over, we'll get you your paperwork with your information in it. All right, Mr. Toner, and then we've got Travis Chrysler up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Charles Keith Tonra, 10/20/1961.
Thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are one count of aggravated driving, or aggravated DUI, rather. That is a Class 4 felony. One count, or actually you have two counts of aggravated DUI. One because you had a suspended license, and the other count involves the fact that it's a third or more DUI for you, which I think you have even more than that. And then one count of possession of an open container of liquor in a vehicle. That is a Class 2 misdemeanor. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do currently have a status conference set on March 31st. Preliminary hearing April 2nd, both at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Based on a review of your history, I see your 6 convictions also include 2 prior felony DUIs, as well as some misdemeanor DUIs, including a conviction from not even a year ago at this point. So at this point, you do have a bond. That's going to be a $1,500 secured appearance bond. If you do postpone and are released from custody, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You'd also have alcohol testing and monitoring as part of those release conditions, because among your terms are the term that you are not to possess or consume any alcohol. Do you have any questions about that?
How do I bond?
Ask the officers in the back. They'll be able to help you out with that. It actually goes through the jail. You'll have phones in the next room, too, that you can access if you need to do that to contact anyone, including a bonding company.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to step over and go and pick up that paperwork over there? Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Travis Chrysler, and then David Guerrero will be up next. sir, your full name and date of birth.
Travis Chrysler,
Your date of birth.
October 14, 1991.
Thank you, sir. You were here for a bench warrant that was issued. That's for failure to appear in CR 2025-000220. So in that case, your new court dates are going to be a status conference March 31 with the preliminary hearing April 2nd, both at 8:30 at the downtown Phoenix Superior Court. The bond in your warrant, which has been affirmed at this time, is a $1,000 secured appearance bond. Do you have any questions regarding any of that information?
Yeah, I live in Mesa, so I couldn't make a court date. I was unable to get a bus pass to go to the court date, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, now you have a bond. All right. Go ahead and step over. You can go ahead and pick up that paperwork. All right. So we have David Guerrero, and then Brandon Baker will be up next.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Your full name and date of birth.
David Guerrero, 12/1995.
All right, thank you. So you were here for a new case out of the Surprise Municipal Court. In this matter, the charges is one count of disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor offense. An attorney will be appointed to represent you in this matter because you are going to have a bond in this case, so that is required pursuant to Rule 6.1 to address that specific issue. They've set an arraignment hearing for you on April 1st at 1:30. That'll be at the Surprise Municipal Court. The address will be included in your paperwork. In this matter, based on the nature of the charges you're here for, specifically the allegations of the threats that were made, you do have a bond. That's a $1,000 secured appearance bond. Now, if you do post that bond and are released from custody, you're also going to be ordered not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol while on release. Do you have any questions about any of that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you want to go and step over and go and pick up that paperwork over there? All right. So we have Brandon Vega, and then Andrea Small will be up next. All right, sir. Your full name and date of birth.
Brandon, last name B-E-K-A, 11/15/82.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case. This one's out of the White Tank Justice Court. So in this matter, the charges submitted are 2 counts of criminal damage, both Class 1 misdemeanors. In this case, you are entitled to court-appointed counsel, but that will be handled by the White Tank Justice Court. They'll address that at your next court date that you have here. They've set an arraignment hearing for you on March 27 at 8:30 a.m. That'll be at the White Tank Justice Court. And in this matter, you do have a bond given the nature of the charges. That's a $500 secured appearance bond, with the additional orders that you are not to return to the scene of the offense, not have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. Do you have any questions about that?
No.
All right. If you want to step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork that's going to be over there and have a seat. Thank you. All right, Ms. Smalls, and then Jose Angulo will be up next. State your full name and date of birth.
Andrea Arlene Smalton, January 3rd, 1984.
You are here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court alleging 1 count of aggravated domestic violence, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of disobeying a court order, a Class 1 misdemeanor. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference set April 8 with a preliminary hearing April 10, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, I was actually going to give you a bond, but I am going to follow the recommendations submitted by the state in this case, as they are recommending release of pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You have electronic monitoring installed prior to your release in this matter. You have the same orders that you've repeatedly been given in this case, that you are not to return to the scene of the offense. Even if the victim invites you over, there is an order of protection in place. You will get arrested. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim or any complainant or witness. Do you have any questions about that? All right, go and step over. You're going to pick up that paperwork. All right, we have Jose Angulo, and then Amelia Hall will be up next. All right, your full name and date of birth.
Jose Alberto Angulo Garcia, September 27, 1982.
All right, you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. This one is alleging 1 count of criminal damage, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. That was the only count I was able to find probable cause on here today. There are 2 additional counts that were submitted that I wasn't able to find probable cause on. That's 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia. That doesn't necessarily mean those counts are going away, but they did not provide me with enough information, so we'll only be proceeding on that misdemeanor charge. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference April 8 with a preliminary hearing April 10, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Since I did not find probable cause on those felony counts, you are being released today. It is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You also have orders that you are not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir. Do you want to go and step over? You go and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right, so we've got Ms. Hall and then Michael Petty up after that.
Hello.
Your full name and date of birth?
Delia Hall, September 25th, 1987.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case out of the Buckeye Municipal Court. It is alleging 2 counts of assault, Class 1 misdemeanors. So in this matter, an arraignment hearing has been set on April 8 at 2 p.m. That'll be at the Buckeye Municipal Court. You are entitled to court-appointed counsel due to the nature of the charge. It is considered domestic violence offense in nature, but that'll be handled by the court that has your case. So they'll address that at that arraignment hearing that I just provided you with. So in this case, based on your otherwise, I think you have pretty limited criminal history with the last one being in 21, I am going to be releasing you today on your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear. But given the nature of the offense you have here, you do have orders that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in that matter. So that does mean if you were previously residing with the alleged victims, you do need to find an alternate residence at this time, at least until further court order.
I'm so sorry. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So, my daughter is the quote-unquote victim. She lives with me.
That's correct. I saw it's a 14-year-old involved in this that was
Yes.
the victim of the assault.
Okay. My daughter's had previous history, and last year she went through the same thing. This time she was the one that actually went to the little children's little thingy, I guess, detention center. My only question is, do I just leave her with her dad, or how does that work? Because she predominantly lives with me and goes to school with me, so I just leave her there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. At this time,
something?
until further court order, assuming DCS doesn't come in and make any other changes, obviously if they're involved, you have to obey whatever they do too.
Okay. Do I need like a letter or something to give to the school so they can? Because I don't know how.
You're going to have a release order
Okay.
that indicates no contact.
Okay.
So I don't know if that solves the issue for you, but that's really the best we can do here.
It's okay. I just wanted to ask.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we have Michael Petty and then Maria Quintero will be up next. All right, sir. Your full name and date of birth?
Lee 482, Michael Petty. Michael Petty.
You are here for a probation violation warrant. This is for a petition to revoke that's been filed alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, and 15 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing March 31 at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, because it is your first PTR and also because they just did a minimal bond on the warrant, I am going to be releasing you today, but it is going to be subject to the supervision of your probation officer within 72 hours of your release from this facility. You do need to contact probation. If you fail to do that, a supplemental petition to revoke could be submitted.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
No.
All right.
Thank
you want to go
you.
and step over? You want to pick up that paperwork? We've got Ms. Quintero and then Juan Pinuelos will be up next. Your full name and date of birth?
Mary Quintero, +2, 1995.
All right, you are here for a probation violation warrant that was issued. In your matter, this is for a petition to revoke filed alleging a violation of terms 3 and 5 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set on March 31 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the address in your paperwork. Based on the minimal bond that was in your warrant as well, I think they just issued a $50 bond in that, as well as the fact that it is the first petition to revoke issued in this matter. I am going to be releasing you today. It is on your own recognizance, but you are still subject to the supervision of your probation officer. Within 72 hours of your release from this facility, you do need to contact probation. A failure to do that or otherwise comply with your terms could result in a supplemental petition to revoke, which will bring you right back in here.
Okay.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right. If you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right. So we have Juan Pinuelos and then Kevin Anton is up next. Go ahead and have a seat. They'll get your paperwork out to you, ma'am. Okay? All right, full name and date of birth,
February 15, 2001.
and your full name.
Juan Antonio Pinuelos.
All right, so you were here for a new case out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. It is alleging 1 count of theft. That is a Class 1 misdemeanor. You are not entitled to court-appointed counsel based on the nature of the charge in this matter, but you do, of course, have the right to retain an attorney to represent you. An arraignment hearing has been set on April 9 at 1 p.m. That'll be at the Goodyear Municipal Court. At this time, you are being released in this matter. It is on your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear, but you do have the additional orders that you are not to return to the scene of the offense. You are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness involved in this matter. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, if you want to step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork over there.
Thank you.
All right, so we have Kevin, Anton, and then after that, Alexander Klauser. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Kevin Lee Anton, August 20th, 1978.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a municipal court warrant. This is out of the Surprise Municipal Court. It's in their case number CM 2023-00216. In that matter, an arraignment hearing has been set on April 22nd. That's at 1 p.m. That's going to be out of the Surprise Municipal Court. You'll get the address and your paperwork. Now, in this case, I don't show that you had any other warrants issued in this matter. I do show it as the first warrant for this case. It is a pre-adjudication warrant. Now, you are being released. I'm going to give you another shot to appear at that next court date on April 22nd. You are being released on your own recognizance with the same terms that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. I'll just warn you, if you fail to appear on April 22nd, it's likely another warrant will issue at that time. Do you have any questions about that?
Can I say something about the warrant? Or
You can address that with the Surprise Municipal Court.
The warrant that they
You can
issued?
address the warrant with the Surprise
okay.
Municipal Court.
Oh, okay with
It's
this.
their
Okay,
warrant.
I got it. I got you.
All right. All right, if you want to
Thank you.
go and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork. Alexander Klauser, I show he is the last one, at least in the courtroom, to be seen. All right, Mr. Klauser, go ahead and state your full name and date of birth.
Alexander James Klauser, 04/04/2000.
All right, thank you, sir. So you've got two separate cases here today. I'm going to go ahead and start with the new matter that just came in. This is going to be new charges that are going to be submitted in Superior Court. The charge there is 1 count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. It's actually Class 3 misdemeanor. I did not find probable cause for the other count that was submitted. That's possession of narcotic drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. It doesn't necessarily mean that charge is going away, but I was not given enough information here today. So in this case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have a status conference set March 31 with a preliminary hearing April 2nd, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Because you are here on an FOJ, or Fugitive of Justice warrant, out of the state of Oklahoma, I did do a placeholder bond in this matter. That's going to be a $50 secured appearance bond. Okay?
What's that?
That means I'm putting a bond in place because I'm putting a bond in your other matter too. So you either have a no bond hold or a bond in your other case, that FOJ matter. Okay, we're going to go over that in just a minute, so you'll know about that in a sec. So because I have a hold in another case here for you, I'm putting this $50 bond in place so they know you're in custody. So that's why we call it a placeholder bond. It's so they know you're here in this matter as well. They don't think you're out of custody and give you a bench warrant if you don't appear for a court date.
Okay. So I just got out of rehab a couple months ago, and I didn't flee. I have a lawyer, Doyle. I don't know if she's been in contact with them. She should be, but I just got out of rehab, and I think she told them that I came down here.
All right. So I'll let you know this is Oklahoma's warrant. It's up to them what happens to you with your case in that matter. As of this time, they have confirmed that the warrant was valid and extraditable on their end. So we're certainly going to be recognizing that here today. Okay.
Yes,
so because of that, well, let's go ahead and jump to that FOJ matter. We can go over your options there. So you were given that laminated sheet. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So in that matter, in the Fugitive of Justice case, you do have two options here today. The first one is you can choose to waive extradition and return to the state of Oklahoma on the warrant. So what happens there is you're basically agreeing to return to Oklahoma. You'd have no further hearings here in Maricopa County on this warrant. And you would be held in the Maricopa County Jail non-bailable. So you would not be subject for release until Oklahoma comes to pick you up on the case. Now, Oklahoma, in turn, would then have 30 days starting tomorrow to pick you up on this charge. Now, that 30-day time frame starts tomorrow unless you have any local open cases. If you do have any local open cases, the 30-day time frame doesn't start until after the local case is completed. I'm stressing that here since you were just brought in on new charges, which could end up being open case or a local open case, okay? All right, so that's your first option if you want to waive extradition and return to Oklahoma. Now, your next option is you can choose not to waive extradition, at least not at this time. You can always waive at a later date. You'll be given the same option at your next court date. But if you choose not to waive extradition here today, I'd be setting a fugitive from justice or extradition hearing for you. That would be on April 7 at 1:30. And that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the address in your paperwork. Now, I can't appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter because it is considered a civil case. So it's an extradition matter is a civil matter, even though it's a criminal case back in Oklahoma. You do have the right to retain an attorney, so if you do already have an attorney on this, you can certainly consult with them. I'll also note there are sometimes public defenders present at those hearings who can provide assistance, but there's just no guarantee of that. Now, in that case, you are entitled to bail, which in this matter would be a $15,000 secured appearance bond. So you would have a bond that you would have to post in order to be released prior to the next court date on April 7th. Now, the process there, if you choose not to waive extradition the entire time, the process is that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states before you can be returned to Oklahoma. Now, that process can be longer. It can take 90 days. That's what 90 days is the time frame that they have in order to execute that governor's warrant. Do you have any questions regarding these two choices that I've just given you?
Yeah, a lot, but I really don't know.
Okay, and here's what will happen. If you don't know how you want to proceed today, which I can understand, it's obviously a big decision, then what I have to do is I have to set the extradition hearing for you here in Maricopa County and enter a non-waiver on your behalf.
What's the meaning again?
That means you're not waiving extradition to return to Oklahoma, at least not at this time. You can waive extradition at a later date. You can always waive it at the next court hearing if you change your mind and decide to go that direction at that time. By then, you might also know whether or not you have a local open case. Since your case, that the new charge you just came in on, that matter is going to have to be filed by then. So you would know whether or not that case is proceeding based on whether you end up getting taken to court for that case, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, can I ask for your advice? Or?
I cannot give you any advice, no.
So, if I don't waive extradition, I have 90 to 60 days for them to come and get me.
So if you don't waive extradition the entire time, if you just say, you know, look, I'm going to fight extradition in this matter, I don't think the one's valid or whatever the case. If you don't waive extradition the entire time, that's when the governor's warrant gets issued, okay? So that's a 90-day process because they have to have the governors of both states sign it and they issue that warrant and then you get extradited back, okay?
And
that's the governor's warrant. Now, if you decide to waive extradition at the April 7 hearing, if you go in and say, look, I've decided, I've changed my mind, I want to go ahead and waive extradition, they will go ahead and enter that waiver in at that time, and then the 30-day time frame would start after that, assuming you have no local cases open. Okay, assuming these charges don't go forward in your other matter. Okay? You want me to go ahead and enter that non-waiver in right now then, since you're not sure how to proceed?
You can. You could put the waiver.
You want to waive extradition? And again, if you're not sure, I have to do a non-waiver because I'm going to have to ask you some questions to confirm that you are making a knowing and voluntary waiver here today.
I'll waive it.
You want to waive extradition? Okay. So you do understand if this local case goes forward, the other case that you came in on, that could extend the 30-day time frame. You do understand that, right?
No. So, is that the one when I'm here without a bond?
That's the one you were just arrested for.
Yeah.
That's the one you were arrested for. Was it yesterday that you had that date of offense? It's the case that just came in, okay, that I saw you about. It's the first matter we reviewed. So if that case gets filed, okay, because from here it's going to go to the county attorney's office. They're going to make a filing decision. If they determine that those charges should be filed, then you are going to have a local open case here in Maricopa County. You're going to have an open matter. Now, If you waive extradition today, normally it's a 30-day time frame for them to come get you, but if you have a local open case, which is what I'm saying you could have here, if you have a local open case, that 30-day time frame does not start until after that case is completed. Okay? So that can extend the time frame out.
Okay.
All right, so that's why I was saying if you wanted to waive extradition here today, you can always wait and see if that case ends up getting filed and pursued. You'll know by that April 7th court date. You don't have to wait until then. If you want to waive extradition, even in light of all that, you can do that here today as well. I just have to make sure it is a knowing and voluntary waiver on your part.
So regardless, I'm gonna have to see if the case here gets pushed through. So I won't waive.
Okay, so I'll enter in a non-waiver, at least at this time. You'll get the same opportunity to address this at your next court date in front of the commissioner that handles these matters.
Do I still get the public defender?
You're going to get a public defender in the open case that just came in. Okay, so that new matter, those new charges. In this case, you do not have the right to a court-appointed counsel, okay, in the fugitive of justice case, so that Oklahoma warrant, okay? But what I was saying is there are often public defenders who are present at those hearings who can provide assistance. It's just that there's no guarantee of that, but there are sometimes, they are sometimes there to provide assistance, okay? All right, so I'll go ahead and enter that non-waiver. You do have a hearing set on April 7 at 1:30, and in this case, there is that $15,000 secured appearance bond. We'll get you paperwork for both matters, okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, I just signed out. All right, I'll go ahead and put our house calls on record here, starting with number 23. This is going to be for Stephen James Tartaglia, date of birth 7/22/2000. Looks like he is Nazwa. He is here for a new case out of Superior Court. It's alleging one count of criminal trespass in the first degree. That's a Class 6 felony. Public defenders appointed. Status conference at April 8. Preliminary hearing April 10, both at 8:30. And in this matter, there is going to be a release based on no other known criminal history. That is going to be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring to be installed prior to release. It will also be subject to alcohol testing and monitoring and drug testing and monitoring as part of those release conditions, with the additional terms that they are not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and they are not to possess or consume any alcohol. All right, finally, it's Jason Morris, date of birth 8/4/76. Looks like he is a health call due to being unable to function within the general population here, so he is in a safe cell. So in this matter, he's here for a new case out of Superior Court alleging 2 counts of aggravated assault with a weapon, a Class 3 felony, 2 counts of disorderly conduct with a weapon, a Class 6 felony, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Public defender has been appointed. Status conference at March 31 with a preliminary hearing April 2nd, both at 8:30 at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. And in that matter, there is a bond, a $25,000 secured appearance bond. If released, subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring with the additional terms that he is not to return to the scene of the offense, have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, and not to possess any weapons while on release. Bianca Levy, date of birth 6/8/83. Looks like they are a house call due to being Nazwa. So in this matter, he's here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are 3 counts of aggravated assault involving a first responder, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Public defender has been appointed. Status conference is set March 31. Preliminary hearing April 2nd, both at 8:30. In this matter, there is a bond of $1,500 secured appearance bond. Finally, we've got Daniel Borgia, date of birth 6/7/91, who has 2 matters here today. I show he is a house call due to being combative. So in each of these cases, they're out of misdemeanor courts. Both of them are out of the the first one's out of the Buckeye Municipal Court. This is for an initial arrest warrant issued out of that court for 1 count of resisting arrest, Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of obstruction, a Class 2 misdemeanor. In that matter, an arraignment hearing is set April 8 at 2 p.m. at the Buckeye Municipal Court. Since it is an initial arrest warrant, not a failure to appear warrant, he is getting release on his own recognizance in that matter. Next matter is for a warrant issued out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. This is for a post-adjudication warrant issued out of that court. An arraignment hearing has been set April 9 at 1 p.m. at the Goodyear Municipal Court. Since it is post-adjudication as well as being the first post-adjudication warrant issued in this matter, he is being released on his own recognizance in this case as well. All right, so that is now everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recorder.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sound check.
Good morning, Mr. Poston.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Court Interpreter Pedro Davis.
Good morning, Mr. Davis.
I see we have numbers 26 to 29 out of a list of 46. I'll
Yes.
stand by.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. I just wanted to let you know, Velasquez Vanessa refused today.
Ms. Velasquez?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll reset her to this afternoon. All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
David.
Thank you. All right, good morning, sir. I'm seeing you today for your initial appearance on a misdemeanor for driving on a suspended license out of Green Valley Justice Court, and also a warrant out of Maricopa County. Looks like it's for custodial interference. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. So the case out of Maricopa County, sir, the warrant amount is $1,500, and it's out of Maricopa County Superior Court. So I'm going to honor that bond that the judge issued back in Maricopa. So for your release conditions on the Maricopa case, it'd be $1,500, cash or secured. Next court date is going to be in a month from now, April 24th at 8 a.m. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Department should come and pick you up on that. If you post the bond before that, it's up to you to make sure you go to Maricopa County to quash that warrant and take that, get that case taken care of. And then the local case, which is the driving on a suspended license, that's out of Green Valley Justice Court, sir. Next court date is actually 3/27 at 8:30. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, on your own promise to appear. If you're still in jail because of the bond on the other case, the jail will make sure you get seen. If you post the bond before then, it's up to you to make sure you get to Green Valley Justice Court in that case. All right, if you fail to appear for court, as you know, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Edwards?
Thanks.
All right, you're excused for today. Thank you.
Garcia.
FAC. Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, can I get your name, please, sir?
Abner Garcia.
Morning, Mr. Garcia. I'm seeing you today on some misdemeanor charges of assault, criminal damage, and disorderly conduct, which are alleged to be domestic violence. out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm setting some release conditions for you today, sir. I believe we have someone on the line. Ma'am, did you want to speak for Mr. Garcia? You have to press *6 to be heard. Is there Miriam Garcia on the line? You have to press *6 to unmute yourself. Ma'am, you have to press *6 to unmute yourself so I can hear you. She's there. I just not sure she's. Mr. Garcia, do you have a local address in Tucson or Pima County?
No, ma'am, I live in,
Okay. All right, sir. Well, it looks like your wife is not able to unmute herself to speak. However, I do have the pre-trial services report from Ms. Garcia, and she indicates that she is okay with having contact with you, and she's okay with welcoming you back home at your shared residence in New Mexico. So I am going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, sir. You can live in New Mexico at your normal home. However, you have to show up to court. It depends. You'll have to call in to Pima Justice Court to see if the judge will allow you to appear via video like this or over the phone. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So you'll have to call to make sure if you're allowed to or not. If you don't show up to court, warrant can issue for your arrest. But I am releasing you today, sir. You can go back home with your wife. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is April 3rd at 10:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court. Before you get released from jail today, you'll get a sheet of paper with all that information. And there's a phone number there to see if you can appear via video or not. If you can't, you have to make sure you show up. If not, a warrant can issue. You understand all that, sir?
understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Your excuse for today.
Yeah. Arnold.
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Gavin Arnold.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some misdemeanor charges out of Tucson City Court for domestic violence, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, a DUI, and other liquor law violation. It looks like you also have an open Tucson City Court case at this time. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm actually going to appoint the Tucson City Public. Actually, no. If you cannot afford an attorney in certain instances, one may be appointed for you. I'm going to consolidate your open Tucson City Court case. You'll just have one court date moving forward. That's CM 24048583, and vacating the date of April 7th at 1:30. So again, you'll just have one date moving forward in Tucson City. So I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, sir. It's going to be April 22nd at 1:30 p.m. You'll get a sheet of paper when you get out today with that information.
Previously, I'm not going to go to that one.
Yeah, you don't have to go to that one.
22nd.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just going to be the 22nd.
It'll be the 22nd. And you'll get a sheet of paper with that information that April 7th is vacated, April 22nd is your next one.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I understand so I can show.
Yeah, of course. The conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, do not commit any acts of domestic violence, no weapons. Looks like the victim, Brianna Zayas, she's okay with having contact with you at this time, but she doesn't know if she wants you to come back to her house or not. So you're okay to have contact with her at this time, but don't go to her house. Okay?
Yeah, understandable.
All right. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue, trial can go in your absence. This is also the time set for your arraignment. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf, deny any allegations filed against you. As I said, your next court date's April 22nd. You need to show up or warrant can issue. If you fail to show, warrant can issue and trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right for direct appeal. You understand all those consequences, sir?
Yes.
All right, you're excused for today. Make sure you show up on April 22nd.
I'll be there.
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Oh, yeah, Arturo Carlos.
Thank you, Mr. Carlos. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some failures to appear out of Tucson City Court. Looks like for domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 2 counts, as well as a new charge of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm actually going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Looks like you had a court date, sir, and you failed to appear earlier this year, and the judge had issued a warrant amount of $250. So I'm going to honor that amount of $250. It's going to be cash. If you do post it, sir, no drugs, no alcohol. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. No contact with any of the named victims in these cases. Don't go to their residence. Don't try to find them or anything. Your next court date is going to be April 2nd at 1:30 p.m. If you're still in custody by then, you'll be seen by video. If not, you have to make sure you show up to court. All right, this is also the time set for your arraignment on your new city court charges. You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf, deny any allegations filed against you. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. It's your best interest to show up to court and get these taken care of. You understand all that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you're excused, Mr. Carlos. Thank you.
Great.
That's the one that. Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
For your Advocate James Craig.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on one charge of disorderly conduct, domestic violence, which is a misdemeanor, out of Tucson City Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. All right, I got to set some release conditions for you, sir. Looks like your wife, Jennifer Craig, may be on the line. Miss Craig, are you there? You have to hit *6 to unmute yourself.
Yes.
All right, what did you want me to know?
Yes. Pardon?
What did you want me to know?
Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that yesterday during the incident, he did not hurt me. I left when I was feeling uncomfortable and before things could escalate too much. I also do not believe he is a criminal or has criminal intent, and the outcome, the arrest, and possibly of criminal charges were not my intent. I just want to feel safe at home, and I hope that we can work things out, and if we need to do therapy or anything like that to make things better and help mitigate the situation, I'm willing to participate.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, are you okay with him coming back to your residence?
As long as there's assurance that he is not going to hurt me.
Okay, well, I can't assure that, obviously, but all right, it's up to you, ma'am. Would you like him to come home at this time, or would you rather have some space right now?
I think I might need a little bit of space right now.
Okay, and that can always change as the case progresses.
Okay. I'm okay with contact via phone.
And all the other things you mentioned, ma'am, regarding classes and such, those are things that the assigned judge, Judge Millian, can assist with moving forward in terms of some sort of a disposition. Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Mr. Craig, if I release you today, is there somewhere else you can stay that's not with your wife?
Yes.
All right, so you heard all she has to say, sir. She was quite distraught about what happened yesterday, but she would like to get things, taken care of and work things out with you. All right, so keep that. Your next court date, sir, is going to be April 22nd at 1:30 p.m. in front of Judge Million in Tucson City Court. I am going to release you today on your own promise to appear, but you got to stay somewhere else, not with your wife at the Croydon address. You can go back one time with law enforcement escort with the court order to pick up some personal belongings while the case is going on, so you can stay somewhere else. And she's okay with contact as long as it's by phone, okay? All right. Other conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. Make sure you show up to court on April 22nd or a warrant can issue. This is also the time set for your arraignment. You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf, deny any allegations filed against you. If you fail to show up to court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right for a direct appeal. It's in your best interest to show up to court, Mr. Craig, and to get this taken care of. You understand all that, sir?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're excused for today, sir.
Great.
Good afternoon, or good morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Good morning. This is Joshua Tyler Green.
Morning, Mr. Green. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on Tucson City Court charges for disorderly conduct, criminal damage, criminal trespass, which are all alleged to be domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In this case, I am going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. So you're going to have an attorney in this case, sir. We got to set some release conditions for you. I am going to impose a bond, sir, on this case due to the facts of the case. I'm going to impose a bond of $1,000. So be cash or secured. If you post it, no drugs, no alcohol, do not commit any further acts of domestic violence, no contact whatsoever with Vanessa Gatlin at this time. Don't go to her house. Don't try to find her, anything like that. Your next court date is going to be April 2nd at 1:30 p.m. at the Tucson City Court. If you're still in custody, the jail will make sure you get seen. If you're out of custody, it's up to you to make sure you show up to court, but you're going to have an attorney, the Tucson City Public Defender. It's also the time. Sorry? Yes,
I apologize for interrupting. Does it show you that these charges are from like 8 months ago, that this incident happened in August of last year? Because I didn't even know there was any issues going on. And these issues happened in August of last year. I've had no contact with her. I've been working nonstop. I'm supposed to be at work in 4 hours. This didn't just happen. This is something that's over half a year old.
Where do you work, sir?
I'm a sushi chef at Sushi Garden.
Okay, and that's full time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have my own residence. I haven't lived with her for over 8 months now.
All right, so you just got arrested on these charges, but they happened in August of last year?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I got pulled over last night for not being able to see my license plate. My light was not displayed correctly, and they brought these charges up. Okay. But I had no idea. I have no contact with her. I'm afraid to lose my job.
No, I understood, sir. I understand, sir. And you live in Pima County?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for bringing that up. Your job is important, of course. All right, so I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, sir, okay? All right.
Thank you.
No drugs, no alcohol. Do not commit any further acts of domestic violence. No contact with Ms. Gatlin. Don't try to go find her, anything like that. You're not going to have an attorney, however. You can always go hire your own, but since you're not going to be in jail, I'm not going to appoint one right now. All right, your next court date. Yeah, of course. Thanks for letting me know. That's important. All right, your next court date is actually be April 22nd, about a month from now at 1:30 p.m. When you get out today, you'll get out this morning. You'll get a sheet of paper with the date and all that. Okay, make sure you show up to court. A warrant can issue if you don't. It's also the time set for your arraignment. You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf, deny any allegations filed against you. When a warrant can issue for your arrest, trial can actually go without you in your absence. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. It's in your best interest to show up to court and get this taken care of. Understand?
I understand everything. Thank you.
Well, excuse for today, Mr. Green.
All of it.
Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Yayo Malie Holloman.
Sorry, what's your last name?
Holloman.
Thank you. All right, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some misdemeanor charges of resisting arrest and disorderly conduct, domestic violence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one, one may be appointed for you. It does look like you have an adult probation hold for a felony matter. And because you're in custody, I'm also going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to impose a bond on this case, sir, because you are on probation at this time. $500. It's going to be cash. No contact whatsoever with the victim in this case, Elena Lopez. Don't try to find her. Don't go to the incident location. If you post the bond, no acts of domestic violence, no drugs, no alcohol. Your next court date is going to be April 2nd at 1:30 p.m. at Tucson City Court. If you're still in custody by then, the jail will make sure you get seen. If you post the bond, it's up to you to make sure you show up to court next week. If you fail to appear, warrant can issue, trial can go in your absence. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. And this is also the time set for your arraignment, so I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. You understand all that?
So if I post my bond today, I can leave?
Depends on the AP adult probation hold, because if they're holding you without bond, it doesn't matter what I'm doing today if they hold you without bond at adult probation. It looks like you have an adult probation hold right now. So it depends on your probation case.
How would I find that out?
Well, let me check. Yeah, they don't. They have a hold, but it doesn't say it's without bond yet. So you'll have to check with the jail.
Okay.
But typically on felony cases, they hold without bond until you see a judge in Superior Court for that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Your excuse for today. Thank you. Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Matthew Lawrence Pritchard.
Mr. Pritchard, I'm seeing you today on multiple cases that are post-adjudicated out of Tucson City Court. Looks like failures to appear for criminal trespass, endangerment, vicious animals, drug paraphernalia, animal biting, no vaccination, no license. Looks like your last date was August 2024, where you failed to appear for Tucson City Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I am going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. The judge in the Tucson City Court matter imposed $250 for each separate case. Instead of doing for each separate case, looks like you have 8 of them. I'm just going to say $500 right now. $500 cash or secured for all your cases together. If you do post it, sir, no drugs, no alcohol. Don't go to any of the victims' addresses or the incident locations where any of these things took place. All right, your next court date is going to be April 3rd.
How far away is that? Because I have a dog in pack and I have no way to. I mean, I wanted to state that I didn't know that there was a warrant for it and all that, and I even tried telling the officer like I wasn't trying. If you look, I was going to court and I missed court and I didn't mean to, but I was also scared that you guys were. And I don't have anywhere I could take my dog. I didn't want to lose my dog, so I didn't know how to go about this. Like I was going to court, I was doing the programs and everything. I'm not trying to be difficult, but I just don't want to lose my dog. I was going to court. I have no problem going to, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, like I just didn't know. I have nowhere to take my dog, and now he's in pack. I could lose him. That was my only problem.
Okay, well that's something you should have talked about with should have called the court last August, looks like. So, I mean, you had plenty of time to get this taken care of, sir. You knew this was going on post-adjudication, so you've already been sentenced on these matters. All right, April 3rd is next week. That's going to be your next court date at 1:45 p.m. If you're still in jail must make sure you'll get seen by video. If not, you have to make sure you show up by yourself. All right? Your excuse for today. You got to get these taken care of, sir.
I'll see here.
Dollars.
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Gustavo William Rosales.
You. Mr. Rosales, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing today on a charge of criminal trespass in the first degree. It's a misdemeanor out of Tucson City Court. It looks like you also have an adult probation hold from Superior Court. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm going to consolidate your other case, sir, which is CM 230169220. Okay. Sir, if I release you today, is there somewhere you can stay?
Yeah.
Where was that?
It's called the Oasis. It's on Dodge and Flower. I don't know the address exactly.
Okay. Is that where you're staying before?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I am going to release you today on your own promise to appear for your next court date. That's going to be April 29 at 9 a.m. Conditions include don't go back to wherever this took place. Yeah, don't go back to wherever this took place, all right? It looks like it was on Lester Street, yeah, so don't go back there. All right, make sure you show up to court on April 29th. If you don't, warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial actually can go without you if you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status. You may lose your right to a direct appeal. You understand all that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty on your half as well. All right, make sure you show up to court on April 29th. Morning, can I get your full name, please?
Josué Duarte Sotelo.
Thank you, Mr. Sotelo. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I am seeing you today on numerous failures to appear out of Tucson City Court. Looks like for criminal trespass, theft, trespass, theft, drug paraphernalia, theft, trespass, theft, drug paraphernalia, theft, drug paraphernalia. And looks like you have an adult probation hold because these are, yeah, it looks like you have an adult probation hold as well. All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm actually going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. It's like you missed court February of this year. The judge that issued the warrant on these cases said $250 on each of your cases. So instead of $250 on each, I'm just going to do $500 total, cash or secured.
Your Honor, I was at a rehab. I completely forgot. I must have forgot about that. I've been on a rehab since last month, around the 10th. I mean, actually not last month, the month before that, on the 10th. And I haven't been out of the rehab. The warrant that's issued by my IPS officer was supposed to get squashed on 2 weeks ago. I don't know why she didn't do it on the art meeting. I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't be lying to you. I completely forgot about the other 250 and 250 trespassing shoplifting charge. I really trying to do the right thing, and that's why.
When did you get out of rehab?
I got out on Friday. I just barely went into a step-down program called Navarro down on Maricopa Island. I've been there 3 days ago. They're holding a bed for me there, Your Honor.
You got out Friday the 21st, like a couple of days ago?
Yes, Your Honor.
It was inpatient?
Yes, I was inpatient at Casa de Vida. I would detox at Buena Vista. I was there. Then went to Milagro. And my IPS officer was aware of everything. She had gave me a number to call. I didn't know you can squash your own warrants. I didn't know that. I called it. It was not successful. And my IPS officer was aware of it 3 weeks ago on my art meeting in Casa de Vida. And I don't know if she's on vacation. She told me she was not going to be in till the 25th, I believe, of this month. So I'm just trying to do the right thing. And I gotta like, they're holding a spot for me at Milagro and Miracle Mile, Your Honor. And
Okay, I understand.
I'm going to lose it.
That's really important. Okay, and I thank you for giving that information. That's really good that you were in inpatient treatment. So that's really good. But now you know, if you do miss court, you can call in to quash your own warrant. You don't have to have your probation officer do that for you. Okay, so I am going to release you on your own promise to appear. It's really important that you have that space available for you. So make sure you keep that space, okay? That's important. Housing is good. All right, don't drive without a valid driver's license. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms. Don't go back to any of the incident locations wherever these things happened, and any other terms you have from your probation, okay? Your next court date, sir, is going to be April 24th at 9 a.m. at the city court. As you know, if you fail to appear, warrant can issue. You don't want that. You want to get this taken care of. Make sure you're good on probation. All right? You understand all that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. You're excused for today. You're welcome.
God bless you.
Hi, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
David Enrique Gonzalez.
All right, thank you. All right, so this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a Pima County Justice Court charge for possession of drug paraphernalia. Looks like it's a new charge. Then you also have Tucson City Court failures to appear for threatening, intimidating, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, criminal defacing, and theft. Looks like warrant issued back in January of this year for Tucson City Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. For your justice court case, sir, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for that one. Next court date's April 3rd at 10:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol. Don't go back to the incident location, wherever that happened, wherever you were arrested. For the Tucson City Court cases, the judge had issued a warrant of $250, so I will honor that bond amount of $250, cash or secured. I'm going to appoint counsel for you, the Tucson City Public Defender. Next court date's going to be April 1st at 1:45 p.m. Don't go to any of the incident locations. No contact with any of the businesses or any other victims in these cases. And again, that's April 1st is going to be your next court date for Tucson City Court. If you're still in custody by next week for your justice court case, then the jail will make sure you get seen by video for your justice court case. If you fail to appear, warrant can issue. You want to make sure you get these taken care of, sir. All right?
Don't be seen.
Sorry?
Don't be seen.
You have a $250 bond.
Valley.
Good morning. Can I just get your name, please?
Morning. Tanya Lee Valley.
Oh, oops. All right. Thank you, Ms. Valley. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on one charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, which is a misdemeanor. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. Who was the other individual then? Hold on, Ms. Valley. All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney in certain instances. If you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm seeing you today, ma'am, on a new charge for possession of drug paraphernalia out of Pima County Justice Court, and also some failures to appear out of Tucson City Court for threatening, intimidating, disorderly conduct, and criminal trespass and theft. Looks like a warrant issued for you back in January of this year. For your Tucson City Court case, ma'am, there was a bond amount already of $250, so I'm going to honor that judge's bond amount of $250, cash or secured. No contact with any victims. Don't go back to incident locations if you post that bond. I'm going to appoint counsel for you because I'm going to hold you on that case, Tucson City Public Defender's Office. Your next court date will be April. Sorry?
Can I have the fees waived for the bond because I'm homeless and I don't have any money? I have any income right now.
Well, you can talk about that with the city court judge, but right now I'm going to honor the bond that was requested by Judge Crenshaw, which is up to $250. Next court date is April 1st at 1:45. All right, if you're still in custody, Jill, make sure you get seen. If you're out, it's up to you to make sure you show up. And then for your paraphernalia charge out of Justice Court, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear. The next court date for that is April 3rd. So again, if you're in jail, make sure you get seen. If you're still being held on the Tucson City Court case, then you'll get, Jill, make sure you get seen. If you post the bond, then up to you to make sure you show up to court on April 3rd. Condition includes no drugs, no alcohol. Don't go back to wherever you were arrested from. If you fail to appear, as you know, warrant can issue for your arrest.
It's only showing 2 court cases.
Well, you have a couple from Tucson City Court, but I'm just giving you one court date for all of them.
Am I allowed to get out of jail today?
No, unless you post the bond. It's going to be $250 on the Tucson City cases.
How do I post the bond?
Well, it's cash or secured. So if you have $250, or if you have a family member or friend that has $250, they can post that, or it's secured. So it's $25 if you can get a bonds company to post the rest of it. You have to have collateral, a vehicle, or some other property that's worth the rest of it.
Can you please waive that so I have a chance? Because by the 27th, I get money and I can come in and pay that. I just only have $30.
No, ma'am, you had multiple court dates and you had multiple failures to appear, so I'm going to order that.
I wasn't even talking to my dad who had the paperwork, and he was supposed to bring me to court, and he never showed up.
Well, ma'am, you're an adult. You're an adult. It's up to you to make sure you call the court. If you don't have transportation,
I'm seriously mentally ill, and I don't have a case manager, and I don't have help up here.
All right. Well, I'm not going to argue with you. Your next court date's going to be next week. You can talk to the judge about that then.
I don't want to be stuck here.
That was the big shot fire, wasn't it? No, that was my shit. Did we give you some of those? Yeah.
Guys, 540. Thanks, you.
Release. And then Richard, you held on a bond. He's the guy that had all the files. Rosales was number. I know what happened. And she did one of this week. And she got numbers on me. Oh. She was one of. She was one of.
Howard, welcome back. One of you want to do.
for a little bit now.
I'm not sure it was the right, but the guy that said he was, yeah, the sushi guy.
The sushi guy, I believe that was no, that was green. You are a lawyer.
The guy that's just in rehab and he just got out.
I think that was real solid.
Yeah, there was two separate guys. There was a sushi and
Sushi guy was good.
okay.
Sorry, brought you back, sir. Can I get your full name again? Okay, I'm sorry, sir. We got some files mixed up here. Okay. I think the charges are pretty similar, sir, but I'm going to read them. These are the correct charges for you. You do not have an adult probation hold. These are not post-adjudicated. My apologies. All right. Your charges are for criminal trespass, theft, shoplifting, drug paraphernalia, theft, drug paraphernalia. All right. And your last court date was in February, so it's about a month ago. Okay. All right, sir. Are you employed right now? Sir, are you employed? Do you have a job?
Yes.
Are you employed? Do you have a job?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Construction.
Sorry, one more time?
Construction.
Construction, is that full time?
Good.
Okay. If I release you today, is there you can go?
Yes.
Where are you going to stay?
Yes.
He said, where are you going to stay if I release you today?
My godmother's.
Sorry?
My godmother's or my uncle's.
Okay, and is that in Tucson?
Yeah.
What's the address?
I don't know.
You don't know the address? How are you going to get there? Are they going to pick you up?
Yeah, it's either there or walking.
Okay, so you know where they live, but you don't know their address?
Yeah.
Where around town is it?
Those.
Okay, well, sir, if you're not going to be cooperative, then I'm going to hold you. I was going to try to
down the street.
Down the street.
Down the street. Yes.
Where?
Like 5 minutes from here.
Okay, so it's close to Silver Blow?
Yeah.
All right, if I release you today, are you going to show up to court?
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to release you today, sir. I'm going to give you a chance. You got to show up to court. It's going to be April 24th at 9 a.m. You'll get a piece of paper with all the date and address and such. If you can't make it, if you don't have transportation, you call the court and you let them know to give you a new court date, okay? You can't just blow it off. You can't just say, I don't have transportation. You got to call them, all right? Okay, same conditions. Don't drive without a valid driver's license, no drugs, no alcohol. Don't go to any of the incident locations where any of these have alleged to have occurred. Make sure you show up to court. Got that? You're going to be released today, sir. All right?
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Can I get your full name? Or good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Romelo Anthony Villaseñor.
Thank you, Mr. Villaseñor. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on 2 misdemeanor charges for criminal damage and disorderly conduct, which are alleged to be domestic violence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney in certain instances. If you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm also consolidating the case CM 2404239 into this case. Got to set some release conditions for you, sir. All right, are you employed, sir? Do you have a job?
Yes.
What do you do?
I do irrigation work.
Okay. And do you have a stable residence?
Yes.
Where is that? Where's your address?
4857 East 3rd Street.
And Emily does not live with you?
No, she moved out 3 months ago.
Okay, sir, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, which is going to be April 22nd at 1:30 p.m. You'll get a sheet of paper with the date and all that on there, okay? Do not commit any acts of domestic violence. No contact with Emily Sanderson. Don't try to go find her, anything like that, okay? You don't, your other cases with her, this case is with her too. Don't try to find her. Don't try to contact her, okay? It's in your best interest not to do that. All right. This is also the time set for your arraignment. You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf, deny any allegations filed against you. You have the right to, if you don't show up to court, warrant can issue, trial can go in your absence. If you're convicted of trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right to direct appeal. You understand all that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you now have 2 cases now, so you stay away from Miss Anderson. Make sure you get this taken care of, okay? Your excuse for today.
Wilkins.
Morning, can I get your full name, please?
Marcos Wilkins.
Antonio, your middle name?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, sir, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a failure to appear at a Tucson City Court for being in the park after hours, and also new charges of domestic violence assault, disorderly conduct, and drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. Sir, do you have a stable address right now, stable residence?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you live?
I live with my stepdad.
What's the address?
907 East St. Catherine Street.
Is that in Tucson?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you working?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
Yes.
What do you do?
Work at an apartment complex. I help maintenance it.
Is that full time?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, which is going to be April 22nd at 1:30 p.m. When you get released this morning, you'll get a sheet of paper with the information and the date and all that.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, sir, you have the right to remain, release conditions include, do not commit any further acts of domestic violence, no contact with the named victim, April Walker, don't try to go to her house or her job or anything like that. No drugs, no alcohol. All right. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go in your absence. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Understand all that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. This is also the time set for your arraignment. You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. Make sure you show up to court in April. All right, your excuse
Thank you.
today.
Thank you. Why did they take me release?
Let's see your picture.
Morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Noah Joseph Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for 2 charges. Looks like a misdemeanor failure to appear for shoplifting out of Pima County Justice Court, and also a new charge of possession of a weapon by a prohibited possessor, which is a felony. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. For your felony case, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And on your misdemeanor case, I'm going to appoint Anna Dennis to represent you. Got to set some release conditions for you, sir. We'll start with the felony first. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, and the state's written recommendation, which is $5,000 is the state's written recommendation. Mr. Poston, anything further to add?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. And counsel?
Your Honor, Mr. Johnson is a long-term resident. He has full-time employment. He has family support in this community. There's no reason to believe he cannot, that he's any danger to the public or that he cannot maintain his ability to come to court and would not do so. So I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services for those reasons.
All right, thank you. I do think a low bond is appropriate in this matter. I'm going to order a bond of $2,500, cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring and treatment as directed. Your next court date, sir, is going to be April 3rd for preliminary hearing at 1:30 p.m. That date may or may not go, so keep in contact with the public defender. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. On your misdemeanor matter, sir, that was a failure to appear. Looks like the charges are from last year, May of 2024. I'm going to order a bond of $500 in that case, cash or secured. If you do post it, don't contact with the alleged business victim. Don't go to the incident location. Next court date's actually tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you're still in custody, the jail will make sure that you get seen by that, but you'll have counsel on that case too. That's kind of an older case, so you want to make sure you get taken care of. Understand everything, sir?
I do, Your Honor. I really, my family and I, at this time, really have no way to pay any sort of bond. I do have a family out there who depends on me to try and help her with anything we can to try and survive out there. Is there any way we can keep it released to pretrial, Your Honor? I promise I'll show up wherever I need to show up. I will not let you guys down. If there's any possible way, please, that I can release. I really need to get back to my family, and we don't have any way to pay my bonds at this point. I'll be stuck in here with any inability to fight my case. I really do apologize. The primary possessor of the weapons charge, it was a complete mistake. It's hers. It's not a real firearm, Your Honor.
You don't want to be talking about the facts of the case right now, sir.
I know. I apologize. I'm nervous.
Modify the bond on the shoplifting because it looks like the judge ordered an amount of $50. So I'll honor that amount of $50 for the shoplifting case.
I really will be stuck in here, Your Honor. I've never been able to post a bond.
All right. Well, you're going to have an attorney, sir, and that attorney can file a motion for you if they think a modification is appropriate. Okay?
Sure.
You're excused for today. Thank you. Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Abraham Kosolitsky.
Thank you, Mr. Kosolitsky. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some misdemeanor charges of shoplifting, crime trespass, and drug paraphernalia out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one, will may be appointed for you. So I'm going to set some release conditions for you, sir. I'm going to release you today on your own promise to appear for your next court date, which is going to be next week, April 3rd at 8:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court. When you get released this morning, you'll get a sheet of paper with the date and the address and all that. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with the listed victim. Don't go back to Circle K, the victim of the trespass shoplift. Make sure you show up to court, sir, next week, or warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that?
I understand.
Okay, you're excused for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Victor A. Mendoza.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mendoza. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some felony charges of possession of narcotic drugs, possession of dangerous drugs, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney at all proceedings. I'm appointing the Legal Defender's Office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. I'm going to set some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, and the state's written recommendation. Mr. Poston, this is not a steps eligible case.
That is correct. He's got too many priors.
Thank you. And anything further, Mr. Poston, you'd like to add?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, Mr. Mendoza has a residence already confirmed by pretrial services. He's a long-term resident of this community. He has family support in this community, and there's no reason to believe that he needs to be held in order to make his court dates, especially for a case which is a simple drug possession case. And I respect that Mr. Poston's already decided that this is not a steps diversion case, even though the pretrial services report says that it is. But pretrial services release should still be our default in a matter like this. So I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Let's go ahead, Mr. Poston.
Having played a part in the steps screening process in the past and being abundantly familiar with it, given there are certain guidelines, if a person has too many drug convictions as well as too many overall convictions, they will be deemed ineligible. And I can tell you now that going ahead and putting this person in for steps is a waste of time. He's going to get bounced.
Thank you, Mr. Poston. All right, I do think that release of pretrial is appropriate in this case. Mr. Mendoza, I'm going to release you to pretrial today. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no guns, monitoring or treatment. If they tell you to test, go test as pretrial tells you to. Don't go back to wherever you got arrested from. Don't go back to the incident location. Your next court date, thank you. Your next court date is going to be April 14th at 1:30 for preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go, so make sure you keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. Understand all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Excuse for today. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Stephen Allen Moore.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some felony charges for possession of a dangerous drug for sale, possession of narcotic drug for sale, possession of a weapon during a felony drug offense, possession of deadly weapon by privileged possessor, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And these are all felonies. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. I'm going to be setting some release conditions for you, Mr. Moore. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is $7,500. Mr. Poston, anything further you'd like to add for the state?
No, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, Mr. Moore is another long-term resident of this community with full-time employment. He has no history of failing to appear in the last 2 years, according to the pretrial services report. And I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision.
I do think a bond is appropriate in this matter due to the nature of the charges. I'm going to impose a bond of $5,000, cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. Certain conditions include if you post the bond is no drugs, no alcohol, no firearms whatsoever, monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial. Your next court date, sir, is going to be a preliminary hearing on April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. That date may or may not go, so make sure you keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused for today, sir. Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Armando Tapia Pimienta.
Thank you, Mr. Pimenta. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing today on a felony charge for aggravated driving under the influence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney at all proceedings. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. Mr. Pimenta, I'm going to set some release conditions for you. I've reviewed the interim complaint, the pretrial services report. The state's written recommendation is $5,000 on bond. Mr. Poston, anything further to add?
No, Judge.
Great, thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, Mr. Pimienta is also a long-term resident of this community. He has full-time employment. He has family support here, and it is a DUI charge. It is not. It is an offense that is susceptible to treatment and not to incarceration. And so I'm asking you to release Mr. Pimienta to the supervision of pretrial services so that he can get started on his treatment.
Thank you. I do think that release to pretrial service is appropriate in this matter. I'm just going to be ordering, sir, Mr. Pimienta, you'll be released today to pretrial. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, do not drive without a valid driver's license, no firearms, monitoring treatment as directed. You had a question, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, I am a medical patient. I don't understand. I have the medical card, so you're telling me not to use something that was prescribed by the doctor.
Are you talking about the facts of the case right now? We're not going to be talking about the facts of the case.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I can advise him in a moment, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Your next court date, sir, is April 14th at 1:30 p.m. That date may or may not go, so just make sure you keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. Thank you. All right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Khalid Omar Rahman.
Thank you, Mr. Rahman. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some new felony charges of possession of dangerous drugs and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. You have counsel seated for you next for purpose of today. I don't know if you have a felony probation hold, but you definitely, I know that your status is that you are on felony probation at this time. I'm going to be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the interim complaint, the pretrial services report, and the state's written recommendation looks to be, is it $10,000, Mr. Poston?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything further to add, Mr. Poston?
State would note the NCA FTA rating as well as the active new violent crime risk flag.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, I would note that Mr. Poston's recommendation also includes that this is a steps eligible case, and despite those convictions that are noted in the pretrial services report, that doesn't appear to affect that. It is a simple drug possession case, and it is an obvious case where Mr. Rockman has a severe drug abuse and drug addiction needs. So I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision and set the steps here.
Mr. Poston, can you clarify the recommendation I received does not indicate the steps box?
That's what I'm seeing, Your Honor.
Oh, I apologize. I must have looked at a different box. I apologize for that.
All right. I do think a bond is appropriate in this matter since because of the probation situation. Mr. Rahman, I'm going to impose a bond of $1,000 cash released to pretrial if posted. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring treatment as directed, and any terms of your adult probation in the CR 2022 and the CR 2024 matters. Your next court in this case will be April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go, so please keep in contact with your attorney. As you know, if you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Ramon?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're excused for today. Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Scott Tillman, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Toma. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, which is a misdemeanor out of Pima County Justice Court. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney at all proceedings. If you can afford an attorney in certain instances, one may be appointed for you. It does look like you have an adult probation hold out of Pima County Superior Court for a felony case. I'm not seeing you on that today, sir. You'll be seen separately with a separate judge in Superior Court for that. I'm just seeing you on the misdemeanor paraphernalia today. Okay. All right, so on this case only, sir, I'm releasing you on your own promise to appear. So this is separate from whatever your adult probation case is. I'm releasing you on this case today. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, do not go to the incident location. Next court date for the Justice Court case is April 3rd. That's next week at 9:30. If your probation case hold is lifted or if you postpone on that other case, then it's up to you to make sure you show up to court. If you're still in custody because of your adult probation hold, then the jail will make sure you get seen next week in Justice Court for this case. Understand all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse for today. Thank you.
Where's my next?
Morning, can I get your full name, please?
Zachary Thomas Burdett.
Thank you, Mr. Burdett. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some Tucson City Court charges, failures to appear for criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, 2 counts. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Looks like you failed to appear for court a month ago in February. And this case has been going on for quite some time, since 24. The judge that ordered the warrant in last month imposed a bond. So I am going to impose a bond of $100 in this case, sir, cash or secured. If you do post it, no contact with the named victim. Don't go to the incident locations. Your next court date will be April 1st, which is next week at 1:45 p.m. If you post the bond, the jail will make sure you get seen. If you don't post the bond, if you post the bond, you have to make sure you show up to court. If you don't post the bond, the jail will make sure you get seen, and you will have counsel, sir. As you know, if you fail to appear, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Burdett?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
I'm released.
No $100 bond.
Yes. So I'm housed? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What the fuck? Where? Oh, there's it. Can I get my water? Yeah, right. Voucher organization.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Jimmy Eric Gonzalez.
Sorry, you said Jimmy Eric Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your patience, Mr. Gonzalez. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new felony charge for possession of dangerous drugs. This is a felony. And also looks like you have a number of failures to appear out of Tucson City Court and Pima County Justice Court as well. These are for trespass, shoplifting, theft, and drug paraphernalia. We'll talk about the felony first, and then we'll deal with your misdemeanor cases. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. For your felony case, I am appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And then we'll talk about your Justice Court and City Court case in a bit here. All right, I got to set some release conditions. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the inter complaint, and the state's written recommendation. Mr. Poston, can you confirm Mr. Gonzalez is steps eligible?
Checking. Sorry, Your Honor. It looked like we were going out of a touch out of order. Yes, he is.
Okay, thank you. Anything further to add, Mr. Poston?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Coulter, I haven't decided yet, but he could also, I may hold him on his misdemeanor cases. So please address that if you'd like a bond on Mr. Gonzalez if I hold him on the misdemeanor cases.
I'm not like hold him on the misdemeanor cases, but I would like you to note for the Superior Court for his steps hearing that he be transported for that if you are holding him, despite the fact that he has no bond in that matter. This is a simple drug possession case. Not knowing what's going to happen with the misdemeanor cases, I do believe that he will get his chance on steps diversion. And so I agree with the state's recommendation for pretrial services release.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, the state is saying you may be eligible for a pre-indictment diversion program for substance abuse counseling and treatment. Would you be interested in potentially participating in that?
I mean, you have no idea. I've been wanting something like that.
Okay.
It's very hard living out on the streets. I would really like that.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Coulter, waive time for that? For PhD?
Yes.
All right, sir. So for this case, which is the felony case, I'm going to release you to pretrial services. And your steps hearing is March 31st. So that's going to be at the Superior Courthouse next Monday. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet for your Tucson City Court and Justice Court case yet. But if you're out of custody, it's up to you to make sure you show up to Superior Court downtown next Monday. If you don't show up, they're not going to consider you. If you show up, you'll find out if you're eligible for this diversion program. All right,
Yes,
that's next Monday at 9 a.m. If you're still in custody, the jail will make sure you get transported for it. If you are released on everything, no drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial. And then the preliminary hearing date is moved back to May 8th at 1:30. That's only if you don't participate in the STEPS program. All right, so let's talk about your Tucson City Court cases, sir. Looks like you failed to appear for court in July of last year. After the initial appearance was July 3rd, and then you failed to appear for the next court date after that. Did you know you had court in July of last year for Tucson City?
I was actually here in custody, and then when they released me, I went to the CRC.
Okay. And you just didn't get around to getting it taken care of?
I did not. I completely spaced it.
All right. Do you have stable housing right now, sir?
I'm homeless. I can go to my grandmother's house, though.
Does she live in Tucson?
Yes, she does.
Okay. So I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date for the misdemeanors too. Okay. So you're getting out this morning. All right.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the STEP program. Thank you for that.
Well, hopefully they're going to do a screening for you. Okay. So we'll see if you are approved, but hopefully you are. All right. So your conditions for your city court case are make sure you show up to court, of course, no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with any of the business victims for the trespasses or the shopliftings. Don't go back to the incident locations. Next court date for that will be April 21st at 9:30 a.m. at Tucson City Court. You'll get a piece of paper before you get released this morning on the dates and such. If you can't make it to court, call them and let them know, or else the warrant can issue, all right? Okay, and then your justice court case. All right, that one too, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear. That one is April 3rd. So you're going to have 3 separate court dates there. Okay, you got to get these taken care of, and you got to keep these in mind. All right. So that's going to be April 3rd at 8:30 at the Pima County Justice Court. You're released on your own recognizance. No contact with the alleged shoplifting victim. Don't go to the incident location. Okay. All right. And you said you have some place to go with your grandma. Outside the jail, sir, there is a transition housing center, Pima County Transition Housing. They do help with like temporary housing and such. I think sometimes they provide a phone too. So you might want to check that out when you get out today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you should report your excuse for today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's the other thing. I don't know exactly. This is just ridiculous. It's like the fourth
Full name, please. Can I get your full name, please?
Abdullah Martin Nachi.
Thank you, Mr. Naji. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a fugitive warrant out of Colorado for a burglary, which is a felony offense. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney at all proceedings. I'm appointing the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. If counsel seated next to you for purposes of today, I gotta set some release conditions for you, sir. It looks like this case has come before Pima County a couple times now. I've reviewed the interim complaint. The pretrial service report, the state's written recommendation is $7,500. Mr. Poston, did you want to add anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Coulter.
Your Honor, I'm asking you to release Mr. Naji, and if you'll look back at the history where you noted that he's been here a couple of times before on this, both of those times, the extradition proceeding has been dismissed. They are not trying to bring him to Colorado for this, and he actually has spoken to them within the last week. He just informed me just now. This says this warrant was issued March 17th, but within the last couple of days, he has spoken to them after that date, and they said that they were rescinding that warrant. So obviously there's something unusual and out of the ordinary here going on with Colorado, but they aren't going to bring him to Colorado on this. He is working with them. He's trying to work with them, and he shouldn't be subjected to these continual 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 week stints in custody while Colorado gets their act together, especially when it's at our expense that they're doing this, since they're never writting him there. For all of these reasons, Your Honor, he should be released. He should be released on his own recognizance, and certainly he will continue to work with the Legal Defender's Office as he has been for the last several months to try to get everything in Colorado in gear.
Yeah. And I was
go ahead and say.
I just wanted to know if I could. Well, I was gonna. If they do release me, I'm gonna go to the transportation center, and I'm just gonna go to Sonora for however long my insurance, until probably next month, and see if they can transport me to next month's court date, because I have next month on the 17th of March. Of April 14th, I think it is.
Where?
Here, I think, or no, at the courthouse downtown by the Ronstadt.
Okay, so that's the city court?
It's Almada. Yeah, Almada. Yep. The Almada courthouse. And it would be on the 14th, and I was really hoping I'd get released. I gotta go to the hospital as well. I got a little angry at the their mental health room.
Is the jail able to confirm that the warrant is still outstanding from Colorado? Is that something that the jail can do right now?
I think they already checked it last night.
Your Honor, the jail staff is indicating that it is a valid warrant.
Okay. All right, Mr. Nadi, I am going to release you to pretrial services. Okay, you're going to be released to pretrial services. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring treatment as directed, no contact with any of the alleged victims in the burglary. You have counsel, the Legal Defender's Office. I'm going to caution you about leaving town, though, because your next court date is actually the 28th. That's this week.
Oh, it's 28th?
For this case, not for whatever else you got going on. For this case, to take care of the fugitive warrant, it's going to be the 28th, March 28th, Friday at 2:30 p.m. at the Pima County Superior Court. It's on the third floor. At the third floor, okay?
The 20. Got it.
Mendoza. Aquí.
Sir, can I get your, we have the interpreter, Mr. Davis. All right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Nombre completo, señor.
Marcos Manuel Mendoza Grajeda.
Marcos Manuel Mendoza Grajeda.
Good morning, Mr. Mendoza Grajeda. This is the time set for your initial appearance.
Buenos días, señor Mendoza Grajeda. Esta es la audiencia pactada para su comparecencia inicial.
I am seeing you today on some felony charges.
Lo estoy viendo esta mañana por acusaciones de delitos mayores.
For transportation sale of a narcotic drug.
Por transporte y venta de droga narcótica.
Possession of dangerous drugs for sale.
Tenencia de droga peligrosa para la venta.
Transportation for sale of a dangerous drug.
Transporte para la venta de droga peligrosa.
Possession of a narcotic drug for sale.
Tenencia de droga narcótica para la venta.
Possession of a narcotic drug.
Tenencia de droga narcótica.
Possession of a dangerous drug.
Tenencia de droga peligrosa.
Possession of drug paraphernalia.
Y tenencia de parafernales de drogas.
You have the right to remain silent.
Tiene usted derecho a guardar silencio.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Cualquier cosa que diga podrá y será usada en contra suya.
You have the right to an attorney.
Tiene derecho a representación por un abogado.
I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Y voy a asignar a la oficina del defensor público del condado Pina para que se encargue de su defensa.
I also note that you have a immigration and custom enforcement hold.
También noto que existe una orden vigente de detención suya por la Agencia de Inmigración y Administración de Aduanas.
I'm be setting some release conditions for you, sir.
Voy a pactar ciertas condiciones de libertad, señor. Escuche.
I've reviewed the pretrial services report.
Ya revisé el informe que se me aportó por la Agencia de Servicios Previos al Juicio, Pretrial Services.
The interim complaint.
La querella inicial.
And do we have someone from the Attorney General's office?
Pregunta si alguien está aquí representando a la agencia de la Procuraduría del nivel del Estado. Parece que no.
All right, Mr. Poston, do you know if this is the county attorney's or an Attorney General's case?
Le pregunta al fiscal presente que si acaso esta es una acusación que proviene de la agencia de Procuraduría del Estado o a nivel del condado. Va a responder, escuche.
One moment, let me double check, please.
Pide un momento para verificar o confirmar eso.
¿Me puede repetir la pregunta? Disculpe.
Le pregunta la juez al procurador que si sabe si origina el caso de nivel del Estado o del condado. El fiscal presente está averiguando este punto. Espere.
One thing I do see, Your Honor, for Mr. Mendoza Grajeda is an ICE hold.
Dice, lo único que veo para el señor Mendoza Grajeda es la orden de detención del Departamento de Migración y Administración de Aduanas. Espere.
And let me check one other spot, please.
Va a buscar otro dato. Espere.
Other than that, Your Honor, state stands on its previous statements.
Aparte de esto, señora juez, afirmamos lo que le acabamos de mencionar por recomendaciones nuestras, dice.
Okay, so no recommendation from the state because the Attorney General is not present?
That is correct, Your Honor. It's not, either way, it does not appear he's going anywhere. That said, given all of the circumstances, 5,000 plus PTS.
Le pregunta, entonces la fiscalía no recomienda nada en vista de que no se sabe si es un caso estatal o del condado. Dice, correcto, señora juez, pero de todas maneras parece que no va a salir pronto de todas maneras en vista de las circunstancias y las condiciones del evento, del incidente. Así es que pedimos que se imponga por lo menos fianza de $5,000.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Due to the ICE,
Dice, en vista de la detención de inmigración, se lo damos a su criterio.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Mr. Coulter.
due to the ICE hold, we'll submit.
Perdóneme, no escuché lo que dijo el señor Coulter. Dijo, en vista de la orden de migración, le sometemos la recomendación usual y se lo dejamos a su criterio.
All right, I will impose the bond of $5,000 cash. No drugs, no.
Sí, voy a poner. Go ahead, Joanna, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Dice, sí le voy a poner fianza de $5,000 en efectivo.
No drugs, no alcohol.
Se le prohíbe tener en su posesión, si es que logra salir, cualquier cantidad de alcohol o droga.
No firearms, monitoring and treatment as directed.
Nada de armas de fuego y someterse a monitoreo y supervisión como se le diga.
All right, your next court date, sir, is April 3rd at 1:30 p.m.
La próxima comparecencia, señor, se pacta para el día 3 de febrero, perdóneme, 3 de abril a la 1:30 por la tarde.
¿En la corte?
Sí, la siguiente.
That date may... Yes, that date may or may not go. It is April 3rd, but that date may or may not go.
Es una fecha del 3 de abril, pero es posible que esa audiencia misma no se lleve a cabo.
So just keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
Si no se presenta la siguiente audiencia, como se le diga, se puede ordenar su detención de nuevo.
You understand all that, Mr. Mendoza Grajeda?
¿Entiende todo lo que le he dicho, señor Mendoza Grajeda?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today, sir.
Gracias, señor. Puede retirarse por hoy.
Okay. Sir. Yo lo llamo. Okay.
Mr. Coulter, he was asking if he should call that number for his attorney.
Yes, thank you.
Que sí, gracias.
Okay.
Good morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Buenos días. ¿Puede darme su nombre completo, por favor?
Diego Germán Ruiz Robles.
Diego Germán Ruiz Robles.
All right, Mr. Ruiz Robles, this is the time set for your initial appearance.
Pues bien, señor Ruiz Robles, esta audiencia está pactada para hacerse su comparecencia inicial.
I'm seeing you today on a misdemeanor charge for unlawful imprisonment, domestic violence.
Lo estoy viendo bajo acusaciones de privación de la libertad de un ajeno y de violencia doméstica.
And also disorderly conduct, which are misdemeanors.
También alteración del orden público, todos son delitos menores.
You have the right to remain silent.
Tiene derecho a guardar silencio.
Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Cualquier cosa que diga podrá y será usada en contra suya.
You have the right to hire your own attorney.
Tiene derecho a contratar su propio abogado.
I'm appointing the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Puede asignarle la representación de la agencia de defensor público del juzgado municipal.
Also looks like you have an ICE hold from the Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Y también parece que existe una orden vigente por su detención por el Departamento de Inmigración y Administración de Aduanas.
So regardless of what I do today, sir, you're probably going to be held because of the ICE hold.
Así es que, no obstante lo que decida yo por sus condiciones de libertad, lo probable es que será detenido por esa orden de detención de inmigración.
All right, so on this case, sir, I'm going to impose a bond of $100.
Así es. En este caso voy a imponer una fianza de $100.
Cash or secured.
Ya sea dinero en efectivo o garantizado por propiedad.
Conditions include do not commit any acts of domestic violence,
Las condiciones incluyen de no cometer actos adicionales de violencia doméstica,
no firearms.
nada de posesión de armas de fuego.
Your next court date is April 2nd at 1:30 p.m.
La próxima audiencia suya será el 2 de abril a la 1:30 por la tarde.
If you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video.
Si sigue usted detenido, lo trasladarán para hacer una audiencia por video.
This is also the time set for your arraignment.
También es el momento indicado para su lectura de cargos, de los cargos formales.
You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf.
Se le considera por lo pronto inculpable de todo. Registraré su declaración de no culpable ante los cargos al nombre suyo.
You're ordered to appear for the April 2nd date as well as any future dates.
Pero sí se le ordena que comparezca para esa audiencia del 2 de abril, tanto como cualquier audiencia que se programe para el futuro.
If you fail to appear, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
Si no se presenta, se puede ordenar su detención de nuevo.
Trial can go without you.
El juicio puede proceder en su ausencia.
If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and then unable to be sentenced within 90 days,
Ahora, si se le condena culpable al no estar presente y no se le puede dar la pena dentro de 90 días por su ausencia,
then you may lose your right for direct appeal.
entonces posiblemente perderá su derecho a apelar el fallo de culpable.
Do you understand all that, sir?
¿Entiende todo lo que le he dicho, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused for today, Mr. Ruiz Robles.
Gracias, señor Ruiz Robles.
Una pregunta para mi,
Sí.
para mi corte, no escuché muy bien el 10, el 2 de abril.
So for my court date, I didn't quite hear that. Is it for the 2nd of April?
Yes.
Correcto.
Okay.
Okay.
You're excused for today, sir.
Voy a retirarse por hoy. Gracias.
Sotelo.
Good morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Buenos días. ¿Me da su nombre completo, por favor?
Sotelo. Buenos días.
Good morning. Arnulfo Sotelo.
Thank you. Mr. Sotelo,
Espere.
Mr. Sotelo, you're actually going to be seen by the judge tonight.
Señor Sotelo, de hecho lo van a ver a usted esta tarde por otro juez en la sesión de la tarde.
Looks like there was a name mix-up with a different Mr. Sotelo.
Parece que hubo cierta confusión con el nombre de otra persona llamada Sotelo también.
All right, so you'll be seen tonight.
Así es que esta tarde lo veremos, no ahorita.
No, ahorita.
Not today, not right now then.
Later this evening.
Ya después de la tarde, señor.
Hoy en la tarde, sí. Entonces me levanto. Gracias.
Okay, thank you.
At the jail, do you have Mr. Josue Sotelo?
Rosa María Sagún.
Espere, señora.
Hey, good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Buenos días, señora. ¿Me podría dar su nombre completo, por favor?
Rosa María Sagún.
Rosa María Sahagún.
Thank you, Ms. Sahun. This is the time set for your initial appearance.
Gracias, señora Sahagún. Esta audiencia es la de su comparecencia inicial.
I'm seeing you today on a misdemeanor charge of domestic violence, disorderly conduct.
La estoy viendo esta mañana por acusación de delito menor de violencia doméstica, alteración del orden público.
This is a misdemeanor out of Pima County Justice Court.
Es un delito menor que origina del juzgado de paz del condado superior, del condado de Pima.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Tiene usted el derecho de guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá y será usada en contra suya.
You have the right to hire your own attorney.
Tiene usted derecho a contratar su propio licenciado.
In certain instances, if you cannot afford one, one may be appointed for you.
Ahora, en ciertas instancias, si no tiene manera de contratar su propio abogado, se le designa un abogado de oficio.
All right. In this case, ma'am, your husband is okay with you coming home.
En este caso, señora, su esposo dice que está de acuerdo con que usted regrese al hogar.
And he's okay with you having continued contact with him.
Y está conforme con que se lleve a cabo contacto continuo después de esto.
So I am going to release you today on your own promise to appear for your next court date.
Así es que la voy a permitir que sea liberada de la cárcel el día de hoy bajo promesa de presentarse cada vez que se le diga.
Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol.
Las condiciones incluyen nada de licor, nada de droga ilícita.
Do not commit any acts of domestic violence.
Y nada de repetición de actos de violencia doméstica.
Your next court date is April 3rd at 10:30 a.m.
Su próxima audiencia será el día 3 de abril a las 10:30 por la mañana.
You're ordered to appear for that court date as well as any future court dates.
Le ordena presentarse a esa audiencia, tanto como cualquier otra que se pacte para después.
If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
Si no se presenta, puede emitirse una orden por su detención.
You understand that, Ms. Sahun?
¿Entiende lo que le he dicho, señora Sagún?
No entendí.
¿Entiende lo que le he dicho?
No le entiendo. ¿En qué?
Lo que le he dicho hasta ahorita, ¿me entendió bien?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Your excuse for today.
Gracias, señora. Puede retirarse. Your Honor, would the court like for me to stand by to see if Mr. Josué Sotelo is available this morning?
Yes, please. Oh, he is coming.
Thank you.
Morning, can I get your full name, please?
Josué Vázquez Sotelo.
Mr. Sotelo, this is the time set for your initial appearance. Mr. Sotelo, this is the time set for your initial appearance.
Señor Sotelo, esta es la audiencia pactada para su comparecencia inicial.
I'm seeing you today on some misdemeanor charges for failure to appear.
Lo estamos viendo el día de hoy por acusaciones de delito menor por falta de comparecencia.
Charges for...
Your Honor, give me that interpreter. Hold on, please.
You see me right now, is it for the same case? I'm not sure. I'm confused. I already seen you right now.
You saw me earlier today?
Yeah, it's just a few minutes ago, Your Honor. There's a lot of same last names like mine in the pit right now.
Wait, are you Rodolfo Sotelo?
No. Josué.
Josué Duarte?
Yes, Josué Duarte Sotelo.
I already saw you today, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I had told you that I was at the rehab place at Casa de Vida.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he was in the English language misdemeanor group, Your Honor, number 8.
Where's this?
You still have number 114, so if you saw him, then we're missing somebody they should have brought out early. Yeah.
Tucson City Court.
He was enough. You don't remember? This Josué Sotelo is number 114. But I don't know if he might have been earlier or somebody else. What we should do is bring you in.
Okay. That was, I wonder if you trouble with Mr. Rosales and Mr. Valenzuela Burrell. That was right there.
Okay, so. Did he have an APO?
Yes.
Can you ask the jail if they ever brought up?
Gustavo. Are you asking them or do I have to ask them? All right, sorry. Can I see him? Okay.
His middle name came out as Vasquez on my end, Your Honor, but it appears to be Duarte.
All right, so Mr. Sotelo, you don't need an interpreter, sir.
So no, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, there was a mix-up because you got brought up earlier than it was supposed to be on this calendar. But same conditions apply. I'm releasing on your own promise to appear for your next court date, which is April 30th.
I'll pay Your Honor.
Okay.
On to you, Valley's actors.
Your excuse, sir. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. No, you're fine. Thank you, Your Honor. Should check something like that.
Your Honor, that was it for the interpreter.
Felony, stand up. It's already replaced it.
Can we check with the jail if we still need Mr. Davis, the Spanish interpretation?
We need this Spanish interpretation.
I don't think so.
Nope.
They're indicating no, Your Honor.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Davis. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Babalia.
Thank you, Mr. Babalia. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a felony charge for possession of narcotic drugs. And looks like the state is going to be dismissing the case. Mr. Poston, is that correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, it's order dismissing the felony matter without prejudice. That's the narcotic drugs case. Sir, but you do have a Tucson City Court case that I'm seeing you on for failures to appear. Looks like we have disorderly conduct, shoplifting, and drug paraphernalia. They range from 2021, 2023, 2024. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Looks like the last date you failed to appear was back in 2023, August of 2023. That judge imposed a bond of $250, so I'm going to honor that bond, sir, of $250, cash or secured. Do not go to any of the incident locations, no contact with any of the named victims or businesses in this case. No drugs, no alcohol. Your next court date on the Tucson City Court matters is going to be April 1st at 1:45 p.m. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video and you'll have an attorney. If you post your bond, the $250, it's up to you to make sure you show up to court. You understand all that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused for today.
Court date. Yeah, let's do post the bond, yes.
Which one?
If they're so good.
I picked on it. Okay. We're good. morning. Can I get your full name, please?
Amy Beth Crosby.
Thank you, Ms. Crosby. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a felony charge for shoplifting and organized retail theft, which are felonies. Also a misdemeanor out of justice court for false reporting of an emergency and criminal trespass. False reporting of an emergency and a criminal trespass, and also a Marana City Court failure to appear. All right, we're going to talk about the felonies first, and then we'll deal with the misdemeanors. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney for your felony matter. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to set some release conditions for you, ma'am. I've reviewed the interim complaint, the pretrial services report, and the state's written recommendation. Looks like the state's recommending $3,500. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, Ms. Crosby is a long-term resident with family support, and her family indicates that there's a disability involved here as well. I'm asking that you release her pretrial services.
Thank you. Ms. Crosby, do you have a stable residence?
I do, ma'am.
Where do you live?
Do you want the address? In Tucson.
Yes.
3232 East Glen Street.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to release you today on your own, to the third-party custody pretrial services. So you'll go out today, ma'am. No firearms, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol. Monitoring treatment as directed. Don't go back to the incident location wherever this happened. At the Walmart, don't go back there. All right, your next court date, ma'am, will be a preliminary hearing on April 14th at 1:30 p.m. That date may or may not go, so keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. All right, for your justice court case, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with the alleged victim. Don't go back to the incident location, that Walmart. Again, April 3rd at 8:30 will be your next court date for justice court. You'll get a sheet of paper with all these dates and times.
Okay, thank you.
And then for the Marana City Court case, ma'am, I'm also going to release you on your own promise to appear. It looks like that failure to appear was for shoplifting. I'm going to release you today on that one as well. Next court date for that one in Marana City Court is April 23rd at 10 a.m. So you got three things going on. You got to make sure you show up to court for all of these, okay? For that one, the only condition is, don't go back to the incident location of the shoplifting.
Okay.
All right. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. You want to make sure you get these taken care of. You understand all that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your fees for today. Thank you.
What is it?
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Victor Duarte. Victor Daniel Duarte.
Is middle name Daniel?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Duarte. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a felony charge for disorderly conduct with a weapon, which is a felony, and also a Tucson City Court failure to appear for theft and criminal trespass. We'll talk about the felony first, and then we'll talk about the city court cases. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you on the felony matter. I'm also going to appoint Tucson City Public Defender for your city court case. I'm going to set some release conditions for you, Mr. Duarte. I've reviewed the interim complaint, the pretrial services report, and the state's written recommendation is $7,500. Mr. Poston, anything further to add?
Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, Mr. Duarte has some rather involved mental health needs. He has a single felony that's over 8 years old, and he's a long-term resident of this community. For this disorderly conduct charge, I don't think he should be held on bond. I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision and allow him to get the mental health help he needs.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Poston?
Based on my review of everything, I don't dispute that there may, I'm not admitting that, I'm not concurring or stipulating that there may be some psychiatric issues here. However, Your Honor, that doesn't change the fact that he was under no reasonable control and was found at an apartment complex swinging a knife at people, and he was trespassing there to begin with. I understand that he may have issues, but the rest of the community shouldn't have to be at risk of somebody toting around a knife and swinging it at people.
All right, thank you, Mr. Poston. All right, Mr. Duarte, I do think that a bond is appropriate in this case due to the nature allegations and the offense. Posing a bond of $3,000, cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring and treatment as directed. No contact with any of the named victims. Don't go back to the incident location wherever this happened, sir. Your next court date is going to be April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go, so just please keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. We're going to talk about your Tucson City Court cases now. Looks like you failed to appear for court back in 2021. These are quite old, and there was a bond amount originally when the warrant issued of $250. So I will honor that bond amount of $250. Again, you'll have an attorney on that case as well. If you do post the bond, no contact with any of the victims. Don't go back to the businesses where those occurred. Your next court date will be April 21st, or excuse me, April 1st. At 1:45. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video. All right, you understand all that, sir?
Yeah.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
There's stay in touch with Lotus.
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Chuck Gabriel Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a warrant out of Maricopa County for aggravated driving under the influence. Looks like the offense date is back from July of 2020. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. Sir, did you know you had an active warrant out of Maricopa County?
So I've actually, I've been trying to take care of it, and every time that I've called twice, and the secretary says she couldn't pull it up in the system, and it wasn't active. So when I got arrested last night, it was kind of a surprise to me.
When you say secretary, you mean the court, or do you try calling like the public defender's office over there?
No, ma'am, the courthouse in Maricopa County. I believe it's Tempe.
Your Honor, sounds like you may have gone to a city court and not superior court, if that's indeed what we're looking at.
All right, sir, I'm going to release you today, okay? It looks like the original bond amount was only $50, and this was back in with a direct complaint, so you never originally arrested on it. Okay, so I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear, but you don't have a new court date yet. You have to call the court. I'm going to give you a phone number. When you get released from jail today, the sheet of paper will have the phone number for Maricopa County Superior Court. All right, Superior. All right.
Yes, ma'am, Superior.
All right, so you'll call them. The number will be on the paperwork you get when you get released from jail today. You call them for your next court date to quash your warrant. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Flores. Flores. Oh, my God.
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Matthew Forrest.
Thank you, Mr. Forrest. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on some felony charges for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, disorderly conduct. These are all alleged to be domestic violence offenses. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney at all proceedings. I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. And you also have counsel seated next to you for purposes of today. I got to set some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, and the state's written recommendation is $10,000. Mr. Poston, anything further to add?
Your Honor, the state looks at the violence of the allegations and has concerns for both the defendant and, honestly, more so for his victims, considering that they are parents of him. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Coulter.
May I have a brief moment?
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would just note that Mr. Poston's concerns aren't shared entirely by the victims in this case. They do have the same concerns, but they're also trying very hard to take care of their son. And in this case, Your Honor, I recognize the severity of the offenses, but I think that the more appropriate thing to do here is to release him and allow him to establish a residence apart from his parents. Allow them to help him in that regard and allow him to get the care he needs, the attention he needs with mental health treatment to make sure this doesn't happen again. The victim's concerns are well noted here, but one of them actually says that they welcome him home. And the other one has concerns and they don't really want him released. Certainly, it looks like they're trying to look out for him, Your Honor, and I think that they can do so while releasing him from the jail. I'm asking for pretrial services release.
All right, thank you both. I am concerned about the facts alleged in the interim complaint. I know they're allegations, but they are quite serious, involving firearm and a knife. I am going to pose a bond of $10,000, cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. Sir, you can't go back home if you post that bond or are released, okay? I don't know if you have any friends or other family around, but if you are released, if you post that bond outside the Pima County Jail, there is a transition housing center that you can stop by at, and they help with finding housing, temporary housing, and they can get you a phone and that sort of thing. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring treatment as directed by pretrial. Don't contact your parents while this case is pending right now. Don't try to go find them. Don't try to convince them to do anything or other, okay? You need some space from your parents right now while the case is pending. Your next court date is going to be April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go, so please keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your excuse for today.
Lance.
Morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Daisy Glams.
Thank you. Ms. Glams, I'm seeing today on some Tucson City Court failures to appear for drug paraphernalia from trespass, which are misdemeanors from 2023 and 2024. You also have a felony charge for possession of narcotic drugs. Mr. Poston, is the state moving to dismiss the narcotic drugs case?
Stand by. Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Glantz, I'm going to dismiss the felony charge without prejudice at this time. So I do have to talk to you about your misdemeanor cases, though. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one, one may be appointed for you. Looks like the last court date might have been back in December of 24. Ma'am, did you know you had court in Tucson City Court in December?
I was going through a lot in December. My mom just recently died in December. So I might have, I might not. I really can't tell you at that exact time, but right now, no, I did not. But I probably did then.
Okay. Do you have stable housing right now?
Yeah, what my sister's.
Where is that?
In Rita Ranch.
Is that on benchmark?
I think so.
Okay, in pretrial services report, your sister has said you could use her address for mailing, that she could provide transportation, but doesn't say that you can come to her house. Have you talked to her? Is she okay with you coming and staying with her?
Yeah, I just would need to call her. Yeah, and just tell her, what's going on. Yeah, and everything. And then from there, we could figure things out.
All right. For whatever reason, if she says that, no, I don't want you to stay with me in Rita Ranch, I am going to release you today, ma'am, on your own promise to appear for your next court date. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance here.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Outside the jail, there is a Pima County Transition Center. Okay, so you might want to stop by there in case your sister says, no, I don't want you to come to my house. Stop by there. They help with temporary housing. They help with providing a phone and that sort of thing while your cases are going on. So you might want to stop by there just in case. All right. So conditions include, ma'am, no drugs, no alcohol. Don't go to the businesses wherever these things have alleged to have occurred. All right. You got to make sure. You're welcome, ma'am. All right. You make sure you show up to your next court date, which is going to be April 22nd at 2 p.m. at Tucson City Court. You'll get a sheet of paper when you get out today with the date and everything. And I'm sorry you're going through the family situation. It's always hard when a family member dies.
Thank you.
This is important too. You got this. You got to get this taken care of. You don't want to be going in and out of jail.
No, I don't. Yeah, I will.
For whatever reason, if you can't make it to court or something else is going to, call them and let them know. All right. Don't just not show up and forget about it. All right, because another warrant can.
I will.
Okay.
I will. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, ma'am. You're confused.
Thank you.
Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Michael Anthony Jenkins.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Jenkins. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new felony charges for possession of narcotic drugs for sale, possession of a firearm during a felony drug offense, possession of a firearm due to being a prohibited possessor, possession of drug paraphernalia, and a misdemeanor open container in vehicle. Looks like you also have a probation violation warrant out of Pima County Superior Court case for a felony. So you probably have an adult probation hold for that. All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. Got to set some release conditions for you today, sir. I reviewed the interim complaint, the pretrial services report. The state's written recommendation is $7,500. Mr. Poston, did you want to add anything further?
No, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, I need a brief moment with Mr. Jenkins.
Thank you. Go ahead.
thought. No ban.
Your Honor, because there's a probation hold in this matter, we'll submit.
All right, thank you. I'll impose a bond of $7,500. Cats are secured. Release to pretrial if posted. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms. Monitoring and treatment is directed by pretrial. If you post the bond or release on your probation matter, adult probation terms as well in your CR 2022 case. Mr. Jenkins, your next court date will be April 3rd at 1:30 for preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go. If you fail to appear, warrant can issue. All right, let me go on to the city court case, sir. So that's for the liquor and vehicle passenger. So that case, sir, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear, but because you have the adult probation hold and you have your other felony case with the bond, I'm going to appoint you an attorney. You're going to have the Tucson City Public Defender's case for that. The only condition for this one will be no drugs, no alcohol. Consolidating TR 240485554, ordered vacating your April 15th hearing date. For your Tucson City Court case, next date will be May 16th at 9 a.m. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen by video. And I believe this is a new charge. Yeah, it's a new charge. So it is also the time set for your arraignment. You're presumed innocent. I'm going to enter not guilty pleas on your behalf. You're ordered to appear for all future court dates. If you fail to appear, warrant can issue. Trial can go without you. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence and unable to be sentenced within 90 days because you're on warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. You understand all that, Mr. Jenkins?
No, ma'am.
You don't understand that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Basically what I'm saying is if you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue. That makes sense, right? A warrant can issue if you don't show up to court. And
Yes,
if the state, the prosecutor's office, can decide they want to go to trial, even though you're on warrant status, they can go to trial without you. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then if you're convicted at a trial while you're not there because you're on warrant status and you're not able to be sentenced within 90 days, again, because you're on warrant status, you may lose additional rights. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Okay. So it's in your best interest to show up to court and get these all taken care of.
And so I can't bail out though.
For these, yes, because there's a bond amount. The Tucson City Court case, there's no bond, okay? But for your felony case, I imposed $7,500. That one you can bond out, but you have an adult probation hold. So that's separate.
Your Honor, I think Mr. Jenkins's concern is if he does post the bond, he won't actually be released from the jail. He's asking to confirm if that's the case.
As long as the adult probation hold remains in effect, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
So if I post the bail,
No. If you post the bail, they'll still hold you because the probation hold is in place. If they lift the probation hold, then you can post the bond.
So when do I go to court next so I can get that?
Let's let the judge finish with everything. Your Honor, was the hearing complete?
Yes, the hearing is complete. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Amanda Rose Manor.
Sorry, one more time.
Amanda Rosa Elena Manor.
At the jail, can we confirm? I don't think we have a Miss Amanda Rose Manor on our list for today. And Mr. Coulter, you're muted.
Your Honor, I think they're trying to look up the information right now.
Thank you.
Oh, they're saying that this is a hearing for tonight.
Oh, okay. All right. So, ma'am, you'll see a judge later this evening.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mangler.
Morning. Can I get your full name, please?
There's Michael Mangler.
Thank you, Mr. Mangler. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on a post-indictment matter out of Maricopa County for possession of narcotic drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia. Looks like they might be two separate cases. All right, for these are felonies. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney at all proceedings. Looks like, sir, you were originally picked up on these warrants back in October, and then you were released ROR.
Yeah, I was released or
Did
you're
you-
supposed to call. I tried calling, but I called. Yeah, but I called the. I think I called the wrong courts, maybe or something. I called the Tempe courts, I believe.
Okay.
I didn't know it was a city superior court.
Do you live here in Tucson?
Yeah. I live with my mom and my grandmother, and like my mom's been taking care of my grandmother because she's on the way out right now. So, kind of like they've been like hard with transportation and stuff like that.
And you're not working right now?
No. I do have family though. That I mean, I can get a ride now up there, up to Phoenix and get this.
All right, sir. I'm going to release you again on your own promise to appear in Maricopa County. The paperwork you're going to get today, this morning, when you get out of jail, you get a piece of paper with the phone number on it for Maricopa County Superior Court. So call them, the phone number that's on there. And if they can't help you, call the public defender's office in Maricopa County. Okay?
Okay.
You want to get your warrant quashed, or else this is just going to be hanging over your head, and you don't want that. Let them know that you live in Tucson so that you can see if you can appear by video or phone or something, so you don't have to always keep going up there to get this taken care of.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right. So you don't have any future court dates. You're released ROR, but you got to call because next time you get picked up on this, the next judge will see you got released already twice ROR and you didn't get it taken care of. So make sure you get it taken care of. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Your excuse. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Ignacio Montaño Sr.
Thank you, Mr. Montano. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on a new felony charge for possession of dangerous drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have some Tucson City Court failures to appear, misdemeanors for criminal trespass, disorderly conduct, and shoplifting. We'll talk about the felonies first and then your misdemeanors. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney for your felony case. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Okay.
Got to set some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, state's written recommendation. It looks to be $3,000. And Mr. Poston, is Mr. Montano eligible for steps?
Checking. One moment. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Montano, would you be interested in participating in a pre-indictment drug substance abuse program?
What does that entail? Like,
May I have a quick moment with
Yes,
Mr.
go ahead,
Montano?
Mr. Coulter.
We're ready, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Montano, would you be interested in participating in this diversion program for substance abuse?
Sure. Yes.
All right.
Sorry. Sure it is.
All right, and Mr. Coulter, I do plan on holding Mr. Montano on his failures to appear for the city court matters just because they're quite old, and there are a number of those. So, any recommendation of there being a nominal bond on this case?
Your Honor, I'd ask that you not impose a nominal bond in this case. Allow him to be released to pretrial services so that if he posts the bond in the misdemeanor matters, he'll be actually released. And he does appear genuine in his desire to participate in steps. So I think that would be the better way to go.
Okay, thank you. And waive time for the preliminary hearing date?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so Mr. Montano, for your felony case, your next court date will be March 31st at 9 a.m. That's next Monday. If you're still in custody by then, the jail will make sure you get transported to Superior Court. If you post the bond or are released on the misdemeanor stuff, then it's up to you to make sure you show up. That's when you find out if you're eligible for the diversion program. If you're out of custody and you don't show up, they're not going to consider you. So make sure you show up next Monday. All right, you're released to pretrial services on the felony case. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring and treatment as directed. The preliminary hearing, that's if you're not participating in the steps, will be May 8th at 1:30 p.m. If you fail to appear for court, warrant can issue for your arrest. And on the Tucson City Court cases, sir, it's like I said, one of these is from 2019. The other ones are from 2023, 2024. And sorry, it was not a shoplifting. It was a shopping cart removal was the charge.
Okay. I was just saying, I don't remember ever. I don't steal, so I don't remember ever getting shoplifted.
Okay, so those judges that he had in city court already had a bond amount, so I'm just going to honor that, which was $250. So that's $250, cash or secured. And appointing Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. If you do post that $250 bond, no contact with any victims, don't go to any of the incident locations. And your next court date for the Tucson City Court will be 4/1 at 1:45. All right, failed to appear for court, warrant can issue for us, as you know. You understand all that, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. You're excused for today.
So.
Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Christopher.
Sorry, middle name, Christopher?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Purcell. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a felony charge for taking contraband into a correctional facility and possession of narcotic drugs and transportation of narcotic drugs for sale, which are felonies. Also seeing you on some misdemeanors. Looks like you have failure to appear from Tucson City Court for drug paraphernalia and disorderly conduct. These are charges from 2023. We'll talk about your felonies first and then your misdemeanors. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. For your felony cases, sir, I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. For your Tucson City Court case, I'll appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office. Got to set some release conditions for you, sir. I reviewed the pretrial services complaint, the pretrial services report. The state's written recommendation is, I can't tell if it's concurrent or consecutive. Mr. Poston, there's 2 recommendations.
He has 2 cases, does he not, Your Honor?
Yes.
On both, I'm asking for 3,750 consecutive. This individual is a 6 out of 6, and the county gives an abundant amount of warnings, very strongly worded, to everybody processing into the jail. This person had secreted 73 fentanyl pills in his person. Every time somebody overdoses in the jail, Your Honor, the county attorney and the sheriff are absolutely pilloried over the deaths in the jail. And this is why we have to enforce this via high bonds. And on the other case, Your Honor, he's selling. And looks like he's on a probation violation, and he's, again, a 6 out of 6. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Purcell has asked for a moment. May I speak to him?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Lee recognizes that he has a severe drug problem. He categorically denies that he was involved in any kind of sales, but he has a drug problem. He needs treatment. He wants to seek treatment. He's asking you to release him to pretrial services supervision for that purpose. Concerning Mr. Poston's remarks, it is perhaps a bit nonsensical to automatically categorize everyone who attempts to avoid getting into trouble for having drugs on their person as if what they were attempting to do was smuggle drugs into the jail, and attempting to do so, as if it was their choice to come to the jail in the first place. All of these are certainly very serious deaths at the jail, but it is not the automatic knee-jerk response of anyone in the system to assume that that was the intent of a person who was found with drugs on his possession as he's marched into the jail by the police. So I'm asking you to release him to pretrial services and order him to participate in drug rehabilitation services.
Your Honor?
Yes, go ahead.
This person had every opportunity to divest himself of the drugs that were inside his body prior to going into jail. He didn't. He brought them into the jail, and again, every time somebody overdoses, and this was allegedly 73 pills, and that's dealer quality any day of the week.
All right.
Quantity, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Post.
And thank you.
That's $7 worth of pills, Your Honor. I don't know why anybody would think that was a dealing quantity. That is, again, a rather severe and uninformed allegation.
Thank you. I do think a bond is appropriate in these matters. I've ordered imposing $5,000 on both cases concurrent, cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted. So if you do post the bond, no firearms, no drugs, no alcohol, monitoring and treatment as directed by pretrial. Your next court date will be April 3rd at 1:30 p.m. for preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go, so please keep in contact with your attorney. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. For your Tucson City Court cases, sir, the original judge on the case did impose a bond of $250 for the warrant, so I'm going to honor that bond request. Be $250 cash. If you do post that, no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with any of the alleged victims, don't go back to the incident locations of wherever you were arrested on those cases. Again, you're going to have counsel on that as well, Tucson City Public Defender. Your next court date will be April 1st at 1:45 p.m. If you're still in custody by then, the jail will make sure you get seen. If you fail to appear, again, warrant can issue. Understand all that, sir?
Indicated yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Purcell. Excuse for today. Morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Francisco Gilberto Valera.
Thank you. Sir, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on a new charge of possession of narcotic drugs, which is a felony, and also some Tucson City Court failures to appear for possession of drug paraphernalia, crime trespass, and additional drug paraphernalia. You also have a Pima County Justice Court case, failures to appear for shoplifting. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. For your felony case, I'm appointing the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. All right, I got to set some release conditions for you, sir. I've reviewed the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, and the state's written recommendation. Mr. Poston, can you confirm Mr. Varela is not steps eligible?
One moment. Just a moment. Looking at Mr. Varela's information on pretrial, I see that he's a 6 out of 6, and notwithstanding his record, state's going to go ahead and amend to have him screened.
All right, thank you. Mr. Varela, would you be interested in participating in a pre-indictment drug diversion program? So for substance abuse treatment and counseling, would you be interested in participating in that?
Yes, ma'am. He says yes, ma'am. He's a very quiet voice.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Poston, was there anything else you wanted to add about release conditions?
No, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Coulter?
Your Honor, I'm asking that he be released to pretrial services supervision, and I recognize that you may still hold him on a lower bond with the misdemeanor matters, but I think for the felony matter, it's still important to release him to pretrial services supervision so that he'll be able very quickly to start participating in the STEPS treatment program. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, sir. So for your felony case, I'm going to release you to pretrial services. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, monitoring and treatment as directed. Your next court date is actually next Monday, the 31st at 9 a.m. at the Superior Courthouse. You'll want to show up. If you're out of custody, it's up to you to make sure you show up. If you're still in custody because you got other stuff going on, the jail will make sure you get transported for that. But you want to show up that date, because if you don't show up, they won't consider you for the steps, okay? So make sure you show up to that. And then the preliminary hearing date is going to be pushed out to May 8th at 1:30 in order for you to participate in this program. All right, if you fail to show up to court, sir, warrant can issue. You understand all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for your Tucson City Court case, looks like the failure to appear was back in July of 24. Did you know you had court back in July of last year?
it's hard to get any information, hold that information when you're homeless. It says everything goes together. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you have stable housing, sir?
Currently, no, I'm homeless.
All right. You have somewhere that you can go if I release you today?
Yes, ma'am.
Where would you go?
I'd go to my brother's.
And where is that?
He's a new resident. I don't have the exact address. He just moved. He used to live right across the street, matter of fact. But he moved recently.
Is it in Tucson?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not working right now?
No, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'm going to release you today on your own promise to appear for your next court date for the city court cases. Conditions include no drugs, no alcohol. Don't go back to wherever the trespasses occurred. I'm assuming they're businesses. Don't go back to wherever those things occurred. No contact with the business victims. Hopefully you can stay with your brother, but if not, once you get released from jail this morning, outside the jail, there's a Pima County Transition Center. You might want to stop in with them. They provide temporary housing and sometimes they provide a phone and stuff. So you might want to step in with them just in case, because you want to make sure you have some stable housing to get this all taken care of, sir. All right, your Tucson City Court next case will be April 30th at 2 p.m. Again, you'll have a piece of paper when you get out today with the date and address and all that. You can't make it for whatever reason, you got to call them, let them know, or else another warrant will issue for your arrest. You understand all that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, you got one more, sir. So you got 3 things you got to keep track of. All right, so the next one is going to be a shoplifting out of Pima County Justice Court. Okay, looks like the warrant issued May of last year. Okay, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for that one as well. That's going to be April 3rd. So you got 3 different court dates you got to keep track of and make sure you show up. And if you can't, you got to call them and let them know, or else another warrant will issue. You know, do this, you know, in and out thing. You don't want to do that. Okay. All right. So it's going to be April 3rd for this one at 8:30 at the Justice Court. No drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, or excuse me, no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with the alleged victim of the shoplifting. Don't go back to the instant location the business is. All right, hopefully you can stay at your brother's. If not, check in with the Transition Housing Center to see if they can help you out, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Your excuse for today. Thank you, Mr. Barello. All right, I think that is all for today.
We're doing it. That's it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Poston. Thank you, Mr. Coulter.
Your Honor.
All right, have a good day, everyone.